What's going on, everybody? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs,
And this is Shemekka Ebony.
and this is your next edition of Sunday
Sunday
Stacks.
Stacks.
Yes, Sunday Stacks, the show you wait for every Sunday to tell you how it all stacks up, is back, and we're always engaged in wanting to just talk with you, the listeners. We appreciate all the support out there with Sunday Stacks. This show right here just means the world to what we're doing with our I Am Brilliant movement, just being able to speak to the people freely and just connect. And this is a most special Sunday Stacks because we have Black History Month, or as we always say, Black History 365, especially here at the Brilliant Bunch. But either way, we are definitely super excited to celebrate the season and really just engaging in the educational dialogue and the historic references to so many great people who've just served this country and built so many amazing things to just build our political fiber. And just there's so many stories, and just giving honor to African Americans, Black Americans, Americans who have done such amazing things for a country that, may have never appreciated them, but definitely should, because everything that Black History Month represents is only excellence. And so as we just get ready to just talk about the episode, got to definitely thank our sponsors. Want to give a shout out to QuickBooks. QuickBooks software is amazing software. That it's a tool that we use to keep our businesses organized, and it's definitely something you should use as well to continue your business growing, to get to that space of legacy. Definitely look at software such as QuickBooks to keep your books organized. So now as we're getting into this, we are going down what we call the rabbit hole edition. This is our just kind of talking through so many different things that we've engaged in the last week. Sunday Stacks goal is that week for week, we're stacking up all of our accolades, all of our scheduling, everything we had to do as entrepreneurs, as parents, as husband and wife to continue to grow and build together. That's what this is all about, this Sunday Stacks conversation. It's always giving ourselves perspective and being able to grow. So when I talk about the rabbit hole edition, who is Sunday Stacks? What is Sunday Stacks fully about? Well, it really starts with two leaders. It's myself, Michael Stewart-Isaacs, and this beautiful one over here I call my bride. She's the one, Miss Shemekka Ebony. And, we started this years back. And again, just to be revitalizing this show, to be in Black History Month, and just think about all the beautiful things we've been able to do with the I Am Brilliant movement and so many wonderful people who represent Black history that have been in our movement. I mean, would you like to talk about some leaders that we've been able to have, Ms. Shemekka, with this beautiful vision, this historic woman right here on this show? Like, would you tell us a little bit about who's been in the I Am Brilliant campaign and why that's important to Sunday Stacks listeners?
We've had a great opportunity to have a lot of pioneering leaders across the country, across decades, that have been doing movement work. Miss Angela Davis, Miss Nikki Giovanni, Brian Stevenson, Master P, John Rule.
What?
Let's see, Tamika Mallory, Roland Martin. No, he didn't. Not yet. He was with me. I didn't have the sign. So the opportunity to create a narrative that reminds people of who we are and reframes who they think we have a minimized capacity to be. I Am Brilliant gives that light. It gives that reminder. And we were intentional about integrating those that have followings, that are influencers, that are history makers, to help people remember who they are, and it's something unique. I remember when we asked Angela Davis as well as Brian Stevenson, they both had the first initial reaction to not necessarily see themselves as brilliant, but it was the connections and the ecosystems that surrounded them that made them shine more. And we want to keep capturing that and telling those stories so that when we look at Black history, we don't have the same stock stories of leaning on the power of Harriet Tubman or Martin Luther King. There's some counter stories that we can talk about that are in this time that are going to be history one day. And what are we doing to impart, amplify, and illuminate those that have created new narratives about what Black history really is?
I mean, she spoke of some names. I mean, did we forget the great Andrew Young is in the campaign? Blessed to have the whole brilliant bunch. Like, we've done so many historic things in regards to honoring living legends, living leaders that are continuously pioneering. And sometimes they don't go with their name known and they walk off with some $1 billion package somewhere, right? A lot of these leaders have sacrificed it all to be able to create better narratives for so many people, particularly in the African American community, but more so just the things that are supposed to improve America in general. And it's just an amazing thing to just see what we've been able to achieve to really kind of fulfill some of the dreams you would have heard in some of the Malcolm, speeches, some of the Martin Luther King speeches, and how we're uniting people, uniting forces through this I Am Brilliant movement, through the simple holding of a sign that brings this prestigious type of honor to people. So like I said, this is the Black History Month rabbit hole edition. I want you to go in the rabbit hole of our I Am Brilliant You Are Too on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to this page. Give us a like, share a friend, share with a friend, tell your family members that you should be listening to the Sunday Stacks podcast. But most importantly, you should be following what the I Am Brilliant movement is all about and what we've been able to achieve in regards to chronicling not only the journey of a lot of great leaders over the last few years that are becoming living legends, but also those of the ones who set the foundation for us, who've written the literature, who've created the monuments and the museums and so many different aspects. Our family is really big on teaching our kids what they need to do in regards to, history and being aware, and just giving them exposure. Just, we've been fortunate to take our brilliant bunch and give them exposure. And again, I invite you to the rabbit hole. Go check out our platform. Go check out Michael Stewart-Isaacs on Instagram. Go check out Shemekka Ebony. See what we've done. We'll put the links in the description. But the goal is for you to go see the Black history that's being created, the legacies that are being preserved, as well as the way you bring your family into the new reality that we're doing with the I Am Brilliant movement. So definitely stand encouraged. So anything else you want to give some last words in regards to this rabbit hole, wanting them to learn more about how we are the truth in what we do?
What I appreciate is for you to just explore, take a minute, check out IamBrilliant.org. Not only see people we've been able to connect to globally, but see what's behind it. What is the deeper connections of what is in what I like to say in the kitchen of I Am Brilliant. And you'll discover that there's so much more that you may have assumed or may have not had any idea or clue about, that you can grow and illuminate that thing that's inside of you that people may lean on you for, can grow a little bit more brighter because you found your confidence and your empowerment to move forward. So with your digging deeper, know that there's this great opportunity for you to discover your own brilliance along the way.
Look at that. Well, as we look to transition to our next topic, we're going to talk about another phenomenal Black woman that, of course, she's making history every day. But there were statements made on a popular podcast by the Queen, Gayle King, in regards to relationships. And here at Sunday Stacks, we always have what we call the divorce talks. And divorce talks is not here to scare you. It's just a conversation to get people to the place where if you're choosing to get married, you understand the full responsibility. If you're choosing to be yoked and partner with someone, you understand the full transparency of what you need to be thinking about in regards to keeping yourself in the position of never getting divorced. Mm-hmm. And that's something me and my wife have done with our life, is commit to never getting divorced. But we go through these protocols and these clarities, and we have unique conversations verbally to spar with one another just to continue to improve our relationship. And this is something we invite you all to do. And this is something we hope, as we continue to engage with the public, we want to be able to show you our techniques and the styles that we're producing to really give you all some new grounds to kind of pioneer and grow within your relationships. So with that being said, we're going to play a clip with words from Gayle King and from a popular podcast. And then me and Shemekka are going to rapid fire discuss it. So we'll leave it to you to hear. Listen up.
I was really excited, very excited about it. We'd gone out maybe 2 months, and then he said he really needed to talk to me. Sure, what is it? Do you think you could lend me $4,000? And I'm like, oh, God.
He jumped out with 4,000 out the gate.
I know, it's so
he
funny.
He didn't test the water?
You know what Oprah said? Oprah said, God, I would have felt better if he had said $40,000.
I just went in your purse. Here you go.
Because he was somebody who was making, six figures, successful. And when I said, could I ask what it's for? He said, yeah, it was for a child support issue and to pay a payment on some furniture. And this was Sunday, and he said, I promise I'll pay you back by Thursday. And he did pay me back on Thursday, but I didn't feel the same. But he did, to his credit, pay me back on Thursday. But it just changed the relationship for me. It changed the relationship for me. I went on a date, and I was really excited, very excited about it.
So we're back. And so we were discussing this conversation with Gayle King, and there was the statements that were just made. So we're here to discuss it in regards to the conversation. Me and Shemekka listened to this clip earlier, and we had different perspectives in regards to the situation. So let's set up the premise. Gayle King is on a date. She's dating someone for about 2 months. In the 2-month period, the individual says, I need to borrow $4,000. He borrows it on a Sunday, and he says he's going to get it back by a Thursday. And in her own admission, he did all of that. But there was a lot of other emotional things that took place in between. So let's discuss, as Gayle King expressed. What were your thoughts in regards to that comment?
I would have gone through probably the same mental journey that Gayle King did, because this ask really unpacked and unloaded much more than the $4,000 request. I think more so what I leaned into was what the money was for. And for the reply to be, it's a child support issue, then this must be really serious, that you're tapping on somebody that you've only known for 2 months in this dating world, that you would take your private affairs to them in a very vulnerable situation. You can't really expect any more than a friendship to come out of that.
Well, I see, and then when I first heard it, it resonated a little differently, because I'm saying that they've been dating each other for 2 months. And this could be the man of her dreams for all she knows, right? But he found himself in a tight space. I'm sure he's been treating her for meals and whining and dining her and stuff. And yes, it does seem super, early, but everyone's been in different situations early on in the relationship or otherwise. And just the support and being able to help, especially when he borrowed something and gave it back within, what we would call a record time.
Well, he could have went to a cash advance place and saved his own ego and his journey, because the thing is, when you are involved with having to deal with child support, if you don't pay, you go to jail. So if it's probably critical enough for him to go to jail, then there's some behind arrears that have probably accumulated. Yeah, I'm gonna look at him sideways. No, you're not somebody I want to be with, because you aren't showing me that you're responsible with your time and your finances to take care of your children.
Well, and I guess I could see that. And to me, I just, I guess it's a unique position. I don't want to say Gayle is wrong. I just think sometimes, we may sometimes find ourselves, when you're in a marriage one day, or if this is a person you can grow with, being able to help someone in a tight spot. If it was the man who helped her and she loaned her some money and she paid it right back, but then he decided he don't want to date her anymore, it would have been
looked good for him, because in the same sense, she's not fiscally responsible enough to handle something that she can't. Think about her network system. There was no one that she was close to that she could go to. Now, how in the world did you get into a Gayle arena and you struggling for $4,000? I laughed at that. Especially, and this is the whole point, I think, about the Oprah comment when she said, I'd rather it had been $40,000. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would rather it have been $40,000. I probably would have still said no, because especially if it was connected to child support. But it's this isn't the level that should be happening with, that you're presenting, or your representative got you looking good in these streets, that you showing up. Now, if he went in debt trying to wine and dine Gayle, he already knew he was out of his league anyway. But don't break down, brother, in the midst of your attempt. Just be naked while I'm getting naked. and own your desire to be more fiscally responsible to handle your business so that you don't have to go to your potential girlfriend and look like it's a money grab, even if it's not.
Well, as always, there's definitely mixed opinions on these types of topics, but I definitely root for the brother. Hopefully him and Gayle can work it out. If not,
No. Let's hear more about the male version of it. Because when you initially brought it to me, it was kind of like, because the caption of the video says, "This is why men don't ask for help."
well, yes, and I think ultimately, if he's putting himself out there to correct something, but at the same time he found himself jammed up, but her and him are truly digging each other. For her to just drop him because they got jammed up, for a moment, especially when he obliged. Now, if he didn't pay on that Thursday like he said he would, or something else happened, he could have had other things tied up. People get into situations. He was looking to rely on her as a person one day that they could be companions to one another.
No.
See?
He should have asked his homeboy.
Well,
Because you don't go, as the provider and
I agree.
Come on. Let's be honest now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he's right for asking her first, second, third, or last.
He had to be really desperate to ask Gayle King for $4,000.
But when you put it like that, so, we can stay on this topic forever. Yes, and I have a different perspective just to kind of give the brother a little bit of slack. Just the fact that he
Pay
did
your child support.
Pay your child support. That's where we're going to leave it right there. So right now with that, we're going to shift to the Wiz of the Week. Yes, the Wiz of the Week. Yes. We're going to get into this. We would love to continue to talk about all of our other amazing things. We've talked about Black history, Black excellence. We talked about the phenomenal, brilliant Gayle King, and definitely her making strong, frugal, or fiscal, I should say, relationship choices. But that's wisdom. So we're going to move to the Wiz of the Week. And we joking and laughing because we're going to talk about culture and celebrities. Yes, it is the Grammy Weekend. Yes. Grammy Weekend is something that you mix a little bit of culture and celebrity. Get a lot of black folks wearing a lot of nice gowns and a lot of nice outfits and going to a lot of alcohol-sponsored parties. And yes, we have the Grammy Weekend in Los Angeles. And yes, Grammy Weekend is a unique weekend that captivates all of us. But in the midst of our current cultural environment, both from our political discourses here in the U.S., as well as all the different global issues going on, we still find time as a culture to make sure that we can party, look lavish, and still pretend like everything is all good. So,
do you think that black entrepreneurs are tapped into during Grammy Week to be vendors to the craft services or gift bags that occur?
I think it's something that probably is happening in some aspects. I think right now
entrepreneurship
is about the entrepreneur
Black
themselves.
History Month.
Black History Month. So it better be some black, gift bags, swag bags, something. These the different black liquor companies that are out there. And I'm sure they're all out there grinding during this time of year. And I mean, I know everyone sees it, that follows celebrity culture, follows up the scrolls, looks at different things within the music industry. I mean, this is the time right now. There's a lot of accolades going to be given out. It's Sunday. It's Grammy night. And we definitely want to shout out those out there who are producing culture. But I hope to see on the Grammy stages, as we look at the clips and the performances, people who make statements to talk about what's really going on today. I want people who are willing to speak to their fan base and use this platform to really stand up for the atrocities and the different things that are going on in culture. Show your awareness. Show the range of your awareness. I encourage you. Mm-hmm. I've seen some great people I like to follow. Cultural leaders have been a part of our campaign, like a 19 Keys. I've seen them at the Grammy. I've seen them at parties. I see those types of thought leaders and different people mixing the culture. So I see this.
We'll have an alumni on stage, right?
We got alumni.
We have Pierce Freelon.
Yes, Pierce Freelon. Woo!
Yeah. Straight out of Durham, North Carolina.
Pierce Freelon. Yes. Let's shout them out.
Yes.
That's it.
So, yeah.
We have a lot of alumni that have been, featured, that are going to be a part of the Grammy night, that are making amazing things. I want to shout out Heather Lallery, that has the Femme It Forward. She's had some amazing events that celebrate locals here in North Carolina, like Rhapsody and so many other people. So there's so many people out here in Grammy Weekend that we get to celebrate Black excellence, because music is one of our pillars. It allows for us to express our fashion, our artistic values, the entertainment we enjoy, and it's definitely something that, it's supposed to not only just distract us, but it's supposed to inspire us. And in the midst of all the things still going on in the world, in our local communities, as well as our international concerns, we definitely want to make sure that we still be aware that enjoying ourselves, still pushing culture, fashion, and music is important, but we also still have to have a balance of the awareness and a balance of what our powers are in our brilliant selves that can really shift the tides of the way we see our world. And definitely wanted to shout that out a part of the Wiz of the Week, because though you're paying attention, though you're going to be rooting for your favorite person to win an award, I hope your favorite person uses the platform to talk to your heart and so many others to express what's going on and where they stand and how the world can continue to improve. So, any other quick points you got?
No, that's about it. I'm not going to be watching the Grammys, but I'm excited for those that are nominated. And yes, I hope that with the moments you have, that you can use it to transform lives of those that are looking up to you.
Awesome. So as we look to wrap up, we tell you all the different links to our sponsors as well as our own personal pages will be in the description. Like and subscribe to the Sunday Stacks podcast. Make sure you hit that like button here. Also like and subscribe to our I Am Brilliant YouTube channels. We're also still launching the I Am Brilliant, the Brilliant Bunch channel. So definitely look for that. And then we have the What Makes You Brilliant channels on YouTube. So definitely check out the I Am Brilliant network and you'll see all of our different cross-channel networks that we have, pages here on YouTube, as well as Instagram. You can find us on there. So please definitely check us out and stay connected. Because again, this is the rabbit hole edition. Jump in the rabbit hole, learn more about what we got going on, learn more about the Black history we're making, learn about the human history that we're making, because that's what we want you to be encouraged to do. So as we always say to wrap up every show, I am brilliant and you are too. Thank you again for listening to this edition of Sunday Stacks. And we look forward to seeing you next week for Super Bowl Convo.